our clients and know that over 97% are happy. Do your research. Call the husband and wife law team first.
To everyone counting down the days until pumpkin season, your wait is finally over.
The salted caramel pumpkin concrete mixer and pumpkin spice shake are back at Culver's for a limited time. And because nothing beats the real thing, every scoop of fresh frozen custard is made with farm fresh dairy, and every bite is filled with real pumpkin puree. So come visit us at Culver's or order ahead in the app or online and fall in love with these pumpkin desserts all over again.
From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious. To everyone who believes in magic, let our team member Teppy tell you how we do it at Culver's.
We're not talking about card tricks or disappearing acts. Wow. This is the kind of magic that transforms real farm fresh dairy into world-class Wisconsin cheese. We're talking about Midwest magic. It's about handcrafting every meal with love, because at Culver's, we want every bite to be turned into a smile. Order ahead in the app or online and come taste the magic for yourself.
From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Only 50% of Arizonans believe their health insurance will cover them in a major medical emergency, like a car accident or an unexpected life-changing diagnosis. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona aims to change that perception. AZ Blue often takes care of more than 99% of hospital charges in major emergencies, protecting you and your family from devastating financial consequences. To learn more about how AZ Blue protects its members, head to azblue.com/true story.
The year-end sales event is going on now at Scottsdale Mitsubishi. Right now, you can receive 0% APR for 60 full months on all new 2025 Mitsubishi models. You heard that right. 0% APR on all 2025 Mitsubishi.
And if you're thinking about selling or trading your current vehicle, please give us a call. Our data shows that 9 out of 10 times we offer more. Don't cost yourself $1,000 or more by not making that simple phone call.
The name to remember, Scottsdale Mitsubishi, Scottsdale Mitsubishi. Another Mark Auto Group dealership.
At Winco, we're working to save you money. Every aisle, every department, every day.
9 stores in the Phoenix area, including the new Santan Valley location.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
Anything important happened while I was gone? Anything major for us to discuss here on the program? Welcome in. Monday edition of the lunch break right here, KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert back with you. It's good to be back. Producer Evan is behind the glass. He's ready to take your phone calls. 480-864-1060. Feel like you're going to want to vent a little bit today, so we'll just open those up here a little early. Shout out to Kayla, producer Evan, for holding down the fort while I was gone for the last couple of weeks. It's good to be back. A lot for us to discuss. I promise you, I will try not to wade too much into what happened the 2 weeks while I was gone. We'll try to focus on what is happening as we sit here today. Producer Evan, it was good to see you this morning. Good to be back in the saddle. A lot to discuss here today. I'm very much looking forward to getting back to the day-to-day here on the program.
It's good to have you back. There's been, a lot that has transpired in the 2 weeks that you were gone. Feels like we're in a very different spot than when you left.
We may need to revisit the predictions that I made before I left for 2 weeks to see how close we were. I don't know how close we were, but we will maybe we'll do that a little bit later on in the week. But let's jump right into it. The top story here today, our daily special. The Cardinals, their season has switched from a season of looking towards the postseason towards one about saving jobs.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
Look, this is pretty simple for me. Another fourth quarter where the Cardinals get outscored. They've now lost 5 games in a row. Outscored 14-3 yesterday in the fourth quarter as they fell 27-23 to the Green Bay Packers. This season has changed. This season is no longer about a team that is trying to break through in year 3 with a head coach, with a GM, try to make the postseason for the first time in a number of years. This season has now flipped at 2-5 to can Jonathan Gannon and company do enough to save their jobs? That is where this season is at. because I don't know if the Cardinals have the right head coach anymore. I'm starting to wonder if they do. I'm starting to wonder if they have the right coaching staff for where this franchise is at. Yes, I know we're going to talk about who should play quarterback moving forward. We're going to talk a lot more in today's show about what has happened over the last 5 games and how there is one trending theme in those 5 losses that is just an alarm bell sounding about as loudly as you can get when it comes to this coaching staff. But yesterday, you didn't have an answer for Micah Parsons. Let's be fair, who really does? Your offense has looked better the last 2 weeks with Jacoby Brissett under center. It's still not good enough. And you have now lost 5 games in a row, and you go into the bye week 2-5. And there is a massive difference between you being 2-5 going into this bye week, and if you would have won just one of the last 3 games, Tennessee, Indy, and yesterday against Green Bay, to being 3-4 going into your bye week. You come out of that bye on Monday night against the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football. The entire season takes on a different tone, a different context if you win one of those 3 games, because instead, this team is 2-5 to start this year. Dating back to the end of last year, they are 4-11 in their last 15 games. This coaching staff is under major scrutiny right now. 4-11 in the last 15 games, 2-5 to start this year. They've lost 5 in a row. They're going into the bye week. This is where we now get to see truthfully what this coaching staff is made of. You have 10 games left this season to save your job. And that's where I'm at today. I want to make it very clear here off the jump as we start this week, me being back in the saddle. I didn't get to talk about what happened against Tennessee. I didn't get to talk about what happened against Indianapolis, but I do know that we get to talk about what happened against Green Bay yesterday. And now that this team sits at 2-5, this coach, remember, before the season, I said the coach, the GM, they're safe. The only person under scrutiny this year is Kyler Murray. Whether he's going to be a part of this future. The coach, the GM, you feel like you got 2 guys at those positions that are the right guys for the job. You got a general manager that's been really good at identifying talent, has made good free agent decisions. His drafting has been really spot on, has been able to find value in the later rounds of the draft. You feel like you have a coach who's gotten his defense into form, who's the right leader, the guy who's going to set the right culture. That's what we said about the Arizona Cardinals before the season began. I'm taking all of that off the table today. You start this season the way that you've started, now 2-5 with yesterday's loss to Green Bay. I'm taking all of that off the table. I don't know if this is the right coach for the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know if this is the right GM for the Arizona Cardinals, because if it was the right GM, the roster would be in a better place. The roster would have more talent on it to not have what has happened the last 5 games, 4 of the last 5 specifically, with regards to the way they've played in the fourth quarter. The coach shouldn't lose 5 games in a row. He's had 2 different quarterbacks play in that time. This looks like a incredible indictment on his leadership abilities, his coaching abilities, as to why this is happening over and over and over again in the fourth quarter. Do you know that the Cardinals have been outscored during this 5-game losing streak in 4 of the 5 games in the fourth quarter? You can't win that way. No team is designed to win that way. You cannot, in the fourth quarter, when the game is on the line, when it matters most, play that. After saying that this season wasn't going to be about the coach, it wasn't going to be about the GM, here we are. I'm putting it on the table that those 2 guys over the next 10 games, their jobs are on the line, because this is year 3. This stuff's not supposed to happen this year. This stuff's not supposed to happen when the team is finally put together. The defense is in the place that it was supposed to be last year. Your offense, you made no changes because you thought this group was the right group for you to break through with and make the postseason. Guess what? That decision falls on the coach and it falls on the GM. You had all offseason long to get a wide receiver too. You had all offseason long to make upgrades to your offensive line. Because, boy, am I getting tired of watching Jonah Williams be a traffic cone out there. Traffic cone. You had all offseason long to make those changes. You didn't. You like this group. You stuck by this group. That's on the coach, and that's on the GM, that we're 2-5, and they make a quarterback change, and their offense looks infinitely better with Jacoby Brissett under center. We're going to talk about that now in number 2 of the program. I just don't know where you go from here. I don't want to talk about the postseason. I don't want to talk about what they have to do to turn this around. They are 2-5. They've lost 5 games in a row, and they have looked uncompetitive when the game has been on the line 5 straight weeks. 5 straight weeks with the game on the line, they have looked completely uncompetitive. This season now, for me, maybe it's already there for all of you. Can Jonathan Gannon do enough to change my mind, to change my opinion, and make me think that he deserves year 4? That he deserves another crack at this, that Monty is the guy that deserves to see this franchise through a quarterback decision. Because guess what? We're there, ladies and gentlemen. This team is not going in next season with Kyler Murray as their starting quarterback. They're 2-5. Think about the turnaround that this team's going to need to have here to make the postseason. Not going to happen. So is Monty the right guy to get a chance at picking a quarterback? Is JG the right guy to get a 4th season to try to make it to the playoffs? That, to me, is what changed yesterday with the Cardinals losing that football game. It flipped from 3-4, going to the bye week. Okay, we get Kyler Murray back. We make some adjustments. We're still in the thick of this. Instead, you're 2-5. You've lost 5 in a row. I don't trust you to win a close game. I don't trust you in the 4th quarter to make the right decision on either side of the ball to win a football game. Now this season for me is about, can you save your jobs? You got 10 games to do.
I can't see them beating Dallas in 2 weeks. And how about the way they played yesterday? I mean, this team is 2-4, and you're playing not to lose. How about like right before the half? You go down, you score, you get the touchdown of Trey McBride. You're going into half up 13-3. Kick off, and you sit back. You're too passive. You give up 22 yards. And they kick a 61-yard field goal. And all of a sudden, instead of a 2-score game going into the half, you're up 7.
Yep. Those 3 points, major difference in the game. The 4th down decision. I like the decision to go for it on 4th down and 1 at around midfield. I hate the play call. It just feels like they're getting the little things wrong. And in year 3, you shouldn't be getting the little things wrong. In year 3, those things should be buttoned up. I shouldn't be coming in here questioning what happened in the 4th quarter against Tennessee. I shouldn't be questioning what happened in the 4th quarter yesterday to where you got outscored 14-3. Those things shouldn't happen to a year 3 of a regime. Shouldn't happen. You should have learned from previous times that it has happened. And yet here we are again talking about a team that just doesn't do the little things correctly. And you want to be excited because the offense has looked really good the last 2 weeks. They're moving the ball well. Jacoby Brissett clearly looks like the better quarterback under center. Trey McBride looks like a different player. Now, was Jacoby Brissett perfect yesterday? Absolutely not. Missed some throws, missed some chances. That 4th down play had an opportunity to go win the game for the team. Plenty of mistakes up on the tape for Jacoby Brissett. But it's obvious, and I have some statistics that we'll share later on in the show of just how different this offense has been the last 2 weeks with Jacoby Brissett under center. Yet I can't even talk about really having that quarterback controversy conversation. We're going to try to have it in hour number 2. You're 2-5. You can't get out of your own way.
It's not like they've won 2 games with Jacoby Brissett. Whether the offense looks better or not, you're still 0-2.
Right, the 2 wins don't belong to Jacoby Brissett. The 2 wins belong to Kyler Murray. So you've made a quarterback change. The offense looks better. You're still losing games. And that's why I keep going back to this is now 10 games for all of us to determine whether or not we think Monty and JG deserve year 4. That, to me, is what the next 10 games are about. That, to me, is the switch that was flipped yesterday by instead of winning that game and being 3-4. Do you know how different we would be talking today? I feel like I'm amped up today. Haven't done this in 2 weeks, so there's some adrenaline flowing. But also, just how disappointing yesterday was. Because do you know the difference if we're talking about a team that's 3-4 and they just beat the Green Bay Packers at home? Do you know the difference?
I mean, you're talking about turning around the season. You lost 4 in a row. You hit a bad stretch there, but you figured it out. You're on the right track. That's the talk track if they win yesterday.
Instead, it's you're 2-5. You've lost 5 games in a row. You got outscored again in the 4th quarter. You blow another 4th quarter lead, and I don't know if you have the right coach now. I'm legitimately questioning if Jonathan Gannon is the right guy for the Arizona Cardinals. And with each passing week, with each passing underperformance, with each passing 4th quarter lead that gets blown, I move closer and closer to saying, you got 3 years, buddy. You got 3 chances at this, and you have not shown me enough to say you deserve a year 4, especially when more than likely we are barreling down towards this team needing to make a major quarterback decision, do you trust these guys to make that quarterback decision? Do you trust them to make the right decision when so many other decisions have been wrong? I don't know. That's what the next 10 games are for me. I don't want to say the playoffs word. I don't want to use the P word. I don't want to. Done. Over with. 2-5. You now got to show me that you deserve a year 4. That is what the next 10 games are about. The GM's got to show me. The coach has got to show me over these 10 games that you've done enough here, that you're able to turn this around, that your message isn't getting lost, locker room still believes in you, you're able to learn from losing 5 in a row, and you're able to show me something in these final 10 games that say you deserve to keep the keys to this franchise into year 4 with a major franchise-altering decision coming your way, because that's what's coming up this offseason. A quarterback decision is going to be made. I think Kyler's gone. The decision is who is going to replace him. Do you deserve the keys to make that decision? That is what, to me, the next 10 games are about. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. It's good to be back. Good to hear from all of you. We've got the YouTube chat going. I see they're very lively here to start the week. Good to see everybody over there as well. And again, shout out to Kayla and producer Evan for holding down the fort in my absence over the last couple of weeks. We got a full Monday show for you. We got the NFL Rewind coming up. We still got Buy or Sell. We'll talk about Game 7 in the American League Championship Series. A whole bunch coming for you here today on the program. But when we come back, some positive football talk, because there was an upset that was brewed in Tempe on Saturday. Talk about it next. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
Even if Troy Aikman pretty much said the NFL product sucked last night, he's not wrong. I thought this was supposed to be a brand new Jets. They're more dysfunctional and more undisciplined than ever. You know what would actually be brand new for the Jets? A new head coach starting 0-5. That has never happened, but it looks like there's a very good chance it's about to happen.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
9 Inch Nails. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, Friday, March 6th. Get tickets now at NIN.com. 9 Inch Nails. Live in Glendale. Peel It Back Tour 2026.
I'm Bree.
I'm Sean.
And we are the Berquist family. We are repeat Fulton customers, and we've lived in the Fulton community for 6 years. We had been looking for a home, and so we walked into the Fulton community, and we were just absolutely blown away. When we walked into the model home, we noticed the high ceilings, the beautiful kitchen, the flooring, and the floor plan. We knew it was a place where we were going to raise our family.
And on top of that, we have a swimming pool and a good location here.
When you say the word community, you have to be able to see it and feel it. And so when you have your neighbors, you feel that community because you become friends, and it even feels like family, like a family community. And that is something that is priceless and can last a lifetime. We absolutely would recommend a Fulton home to our friends and family.
Fulton Homes. You're proud to own, we're proud to build. Stay at the heart of it all with a special Cliff Castle room rate starting at just $99 with no resort fees. Less fees mean more ways to choose your next adventure at the gateway to the region's best gaming, entertainment, and natural wonders. And expect service from the heart as well. We think you'll love your stay with us and all the value we provide, starting at just $99 with no added fees. Cliff Castle Casino Hotel, at the heart of it all. Valid Sunday through Thursday. Some restrictions apply. An enterprise of the Yavapai Apache Nation.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. As I posted last night on the X, now we know why Mike Tomlin was so bent with Browns GM Andrew Berry for sending Joe Flacco to a divisional rival. Bent because Tomlin knew that Flacco could just show up and start slinging it, and his porous defense couldn't do anything about it. And he was right. That's got to be the worst Steelers defense I've ever seen. The Bengals could not run the ball against anybody all year long until the Steelers came to town. And when they needed to make just one stop and get off the field to preserve Aaron Rodgers' heroics, they couldn't do that either. But credit where credit is due. Time to once again revisit Football's single most debated topic ever, is Joe Flacco elite? Yes, but enough about what a genius he is, just showing up and learning their playbook in like 10 minutes. What he did is exactly what he should have done. Show up and just start chucking the ball to Jamar Chase. That's your playbook, and Flacco ran it to perfection. I'm Jim Rome.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
For everyone out there, Jacoby Brissett is not the answer because he's had games like that before where he's shown you that he could be a very capable quarterback. He's never been able to do it for a season and lead a team to any meaningful playoffs. So while it looked good, Cardinal fans, it's still not the answer. It just shows you how good it could be maybe if Kyler Murray could play better or just different play calls, I guess, can be made.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
An upset brewed over the weekend in Tempe. The Sun Devils took down Texas Tech. Got a little concerning there at the end. ASU felt like they were in decent control of that game until the final minutes of the fourth quarter. Then it got a little scary, but they got out of there with the victory. Now 3-1 through 4 weeks in the Big 12. I believe that puts them third in the Big 12. So right now, just on the outside of a Big 12 championship appearance. Still plenty of time left in the season for them to close that gap, but a marquee victory this season for this squad. And I'll tell you what, after they got clubbed by Utah the week prior, they get this upset against Texas Tech. And I was going to do this towards the tail end of the segment, but I'm going to do it now, Producer Evan, if it's okay with you. I feel like I can say this as somebody who went to the university. I feel like I can say this as somebody who went to football games, went to basketball games. I have a degree from the university. I feel like I am one with the university. So this coming from me, I think carries a little bit of weight. We got to be better than storming the field against the number 7 team in the country. We need to be better than that because ASU is not some mom and pop team that is over exceeding their expectations this year and they upset the number 7 team at home in a big spot. You are supposed to be good. You are the defending Big 12 champions. Got to act like it. Got to act like you belong because you do. You got to act like it wasn't really an upset because it really wasn't. I know Vegas had it as an upset. I know they were the number 7 team in the country. You were outside the top 25. You're back in there this week. And I know on paper, if we were just looking at the rules of you storm the field, yes, you're an unranked team. You beat a top 10 team at home. You storm the field. You got to be better than that.
Yeah, I didn't agree with it. You're the Big 12 champions.
Reigning, defending, undisputed Big 12 champs.
I just think if you're the conference champions, you can't storm the field unless you beat Alabama. And I don't care if Alabama's unranked. You can always storm the field if you beat Alabama. That's kind of my rule. Other than that, I get Texas Tech's good. I get they're the number 7 team. I get that everybody wants to storm the field. But this team should have won that game. Like early in the year, this team was favored in that game. This team is the team that hasn't lost at home since you played U of A 2 years ago. Like, you should have won that. You are the champions.
It's funny because the storming of the field kind of proves my larger point that I want to make here, that I don't know what this team is. Because if you're the team that we all thought you were before the year, then you don't storm the field, right?
Certainly.
You don't storm the field because you're supposed to win this game. You're supposed to dominate this game. You're the talk of the Big 12. You're the reigning, defending, undisputed Big 12 champs. Yet, it kind of doesn't feel like this season has gone that way. And so when you do win that game on Saturday against Texas Tech, you storm the field because you feel good about yourself. And that, to me, is the bigger picture. I don't know what to make of this football team. They still have a chance to do exactly what we outlined before I left. You got to win 2 out of 3 against Utah, Texas Tech, and Houston. Still on the table. They're 1-1. They have Houston up next. They win that game. They did exactly what we outlined they needed to do in this 3-game stretch. They are showing an ability to win those close games. How many close games, Producer Evan, have they played in this year? Tons.
I mean, just looking at the schedule, I think it's almost every one except the Utah game. And I know everybody's going to say, well, NAU wasn't close. It was closer than it should have been. Closer than it should have been.
You're super battle tested, right? You've won these close games. You're showing an ability to thrive in those moments. But doesn't it just feel a little bit like they're not at that level of a team that can win the Big 12? That they're not at that level of a team that can make noise in the college football playoff? Look at the teams that we're talking about as the top-tier contenders in the college football playoff. Most of them don't have a major flaw. I think this team has a major flaw. I don't know what offense they have right now. Do you know that in conference play, so just looking through 4 weeks of the games you've played in conference, offensively, the Sun Devils have scored 90 points in those 4 games. That is only better than 3 other teams in the Big 12. Colorado, West Virginia, and Oklahoma State. So in conference, just against conference opponents, you've only scored more points than 3 teams, and those are not 3 teams you want to have company with. This offense is still a major unknown. Yes, they come through in these big moments. Yes, they're battle-tested. Yes, unlike the Cardinals, if the game is close in the fourth quarter, I trust Kenny Dillingham. I trust Sam Levitt. They're going to find a way, even if it looks disastrous for 3 quarters. If the game is 20-17 or it's 20-20 and you're going on a drive to win the game, I trust Kenny to call the right plays. I trust Sam to execute despite the way the rest of the game looks. It's the complete inverse of the Arizona Cardinals, yet I just don't know if they have the offense that when they play Ohio State, when they play Oregon, Indiana, Georgia, when you get to the college football playoff and you play those big boys and you have to play a complete 4 quarters, I'm still not sure this team can do that.
This team is the strangest team I've ever seen because situationally, they're really bad. Like, you're talking about a team that's extremely inefficient in the red zone. A team that had the chance to put Texas Tech away probably 2 or 3 times and couldn't do it. A team that got the ball back with just over 4 minutes left and couldn't put together a 4-minute drill to run out the clock and let Texas Tech get the ball back. I was more confident with them getting the ball back with less than 2 minutes, down 3, than I was when they had the ball up 4 with 4 minutes to go.
It's, again, you don't trust the offense to play a complete 4 quarters. And so as the opponents, the quality of the opponents continues to rise as the season gets later and later, right now I'm not sure I trust them. But if somehow you told me, airdrop us a couple of months from now, they're playing Georgia or Indiana or Oregon or Ohio State, and it's the 4th quarter and it's a 1-possession game, I trust the Sun Devils somehow. It's so weird to me that this is the way this season has gone. And you know what? Maybe these are the growing pains of becoming a team that is well-regarded, that is constantly in the mix. You kind of have to go through this to establish yourself, to find your footing. Last year, I don't want to call it a fluke, but it somewhat came out of nowhere. You're trying to build off of that. And so far, I think they're doing that. 5-2, 3-1 in the conference, had that big win against Texas Tech. They're certainly meeting the moment. But when it comes to the larger goals of going back to the Big 12 championship, winning that again, going back to the college football playoff, making noise there, I think this team's a little short of that right now in their current state.
This is a team who, in very opposite to the Cardinals, always feels like they win in the 4th quarter.
Yep.
Right? Like, just, and you said it, they find ways. They win the 4th quarter. And it doesn't really matter what happens for, the first 5 minutes of the 4th quarter, because game on the line, I trust their playmakers to make a play. And their playmakers come up. Jordan Tyson on one leg was still the best player on the field in the entire game.
The question, the concern that I have that I need alleviated if I want to talk about this team is, can you play a complete game for 4 quarters? Because that's what you're going to have to do against the big boys in the college football playoff.
Because right now, beating Baylor by 3, TCU by 3, and Texas Tech by 4, those are your 3 division or conference games. And the other one, you lost 42-10. You have a negative point differential in the conference. You have a combined total margin of victory of 10 across 3 games.
And I'll tell you, those 3 games, the 3 wins, they didn't play great against Baylor. No. Found a way in that one.
Yep.
They didn't play great against TCU, turned it on in the second half. And against Texas Tech, they had to pull a rabbit out of their hat in the fourth quarter. And so to me, again, goes back to my overarching point. If you play Indiana in the college football playoff, if you play Ohio State, Georgia, that's where this team wants to go. They want to play in the college football playoff. You can't play the way you played against Baylor and expect to win, the way you've played against TCU, the way you played against Tech on Saturday. You have to play a complete game. That, to me, is the missing ingredient for this team right now, putting it together through 4 quarters. Now, much better to have that as a criticism in a win than it is talking about a team that's 2-5 like we just did in the last segment. They're finding ways to win. That is going to breed confidence, and hopefully once they put together those 4 quarters the way we think they need to, that unlocks a different level for this team. But I just haven't seen that level yet. That's the thing that concerns me. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Chat away with everybody over there as well. When we come back, haven't done this in a little bit, the NFL Rewind. We go around the NFL. My rapid thoughts to all of the action yesterday across the National Football League. We will get to it next. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Hello, everybody. Gary, why are you wearing a... Hold on, Ron. Every time Gary walks in here wearing some goofy costume, you always say, Gary, why are you wearing that? Yeah, but... And then it turns into some long-winded story about Alaskifications. Yeah, but... Then Gary says something ridiculous. Yeah, but... And you agree that an Alaskification before winter is the best way to prepare for cold weather. Yeah, but... And how Alaskan AC guarantees no breakdowns. Yeah, but... And all it does is encourage Gary to walk around wearing a stupid-looking ski mask that no person in his right mind would get caught dead wearing. Yeah, but he's wearing my ski mask. Keeping my head protected, just like the Alaskification protects your heater. My ski mask isn't stupid looking. Look who's wearing it. I choose to ignore that remark. Because you know another one is coming. Take off that stupid ski mask. See? And that's why you should schedule your Alaskification today. What did we accomplish here? I'm not sure, but today is a good day to Alaskify. Schedule now at alaskanac.com.
At Mark Mazda in Scottsdale, we need your trade. Right now, we'll give you a minimum of $8,000 for any trade, no matter what shape it's in, as long as it runs on every brand new 2025 Mazda CX-50 and CX-5 in stock.
The name to remember, Mark Mazda. Mark Mazda. Price based on actual MSRP.
Hey, Benjamin, we've got a surprise for you.
What? You've got brothers. Huh? $50 and $200 bills just like you.
Hey.
What's up? What? We just got them for joining America First Credit Union and opening a new checking account.
And you're all going to live together at America First.
What? This is nice.
For a limited time, new members get a $250 cash bonus when they open a checking account with direct deposit or $50 with a youth checking account. So head to AmericaFirst.com and get your money working today. Membership eligibility, terms, and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Brian Adams, Roll with the Punches Tour 2025. A night full of hits, live at PHX Arena, Saturday, November 15th. With special guest Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com.
At Mark Mazda in Scottsdale, we need your trade. Right now, we'll give you a minimum of $8,000 for any trade, no matter what shape it's in, as long as it runs, on every brand new 2025 Mazda CX-50 and CX-5 in stock. These are Mazda's most popular CUVs.
But seriously, we need your trade. And if $8,000 is the minimum, think what your good trade might be worth. You have to bring it down here to find out. The name to remember, Mark Mazda. Mark Mazda. Approved credit plus 998.B. Offers not conjunction.
Got hail damage or any damage? Dynasty Collision is here to help, and we're even covering part of your deductible. Thousands are skipping repairs because of cost, but you don't have to. Call Dynasty Collision today, 602-529-3304. That's 602-529-3304.
James out west.
Mike Trout became the 59th player to hit his 400th home run, the home run record holder for the Angels. I was going to quiz you. Who do you think the number 2 is on the list for all-time home runs for the Anaheim Angels?
I would assume it's Shohei Ohtani.
Nope, Tim Salmon.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
299 for Tim Salmon. Mike Trout got 101 more than the next guy.
Naming a random MLB player that had a really good career.
Yeah, dude, I loved watching Tim Salmon, bro. I'm about to cut together some Tim Salmon highlights.
Every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
Back here on the program. It's good to be back. It's lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. Week 7 in the NFL. We've got, what? We got a doubleheader tonight in Monday Night Football?
Doubleheader. It's actually a really good doubleheader. Really good one. But yeah, we have Bucks Lions and then Texans Seahawks. And we're back to this is Arizona time, 4 o'clock. 7 o'clock start, which is, I enjoy that.
If you live on the East Coast, not great.
You probably hate that.
You probably hate the 10 o'clock second game, not going to be over till probably 1:15 in the morning. Probably hate that a little bit. But for us out here, yes, it's great. With that being said, let's recap all of the action yesterday in the NFL. It's the Week 7 NFL Rewind. Your tour guide, producer Evan, take it away.
The Jags have their first home game of the year in London. They're only one, and they get blown out. Matt Stafford throws for 5 touchdowns in a 35-7 win over the Jacksonville Jaguars in London.
I really appreciate Devontae Adams having the day that he had for my fantasy team. I think this game, a reminder on both of these teams. The Rams reminding us of who they are when Stafford is healthy, who they are with Sean McVay as their head coach. And the Jags reminding us that, hey, when we don't get 3 or 4 turnovers every week defensively, we're not that great of a football team. I think a reminder of who these two teams actually are is my takeaway from yesterday.
The Bears at home in Chicago find a way to get a win, 26-14 over the Saints. Spencer Rattler came back to earth a little. He turned the ball over 3 times.
Do we think the Bears are finding their groove here a little bit?
Certainly seems like that.
That would be my takeaway from this game, is that I still have questions about will this Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams thing work. I still have long-term questions about Caleb as a quarterback. Defensively, at times, I have major question marks. But it does feel like the arrow is trending upward, that Caleb is finding a higher floor to his play, and that should lead to more wins for the Bears.
Doesn't it? And this is going to sound crazy, but this team is starting to feel a little bit like that 2018 Bears team that made the playoffs and lost with Trubisky. Caleb, kind of that young quarterback, new head coach. They're figuring it out with the defense. A little bit of 2018 Bears.
They played the Saints yesterday, so I want to just, not go that far, but I hear you.
The Browns took it to the Dolphins at home.
I mean, what are we doing?
In the windiest game I have ever seen pregame, and the wind did not matter. That was a complete lie. All I heard about was the wind. If you bet the over, the wind was fake. 31-7 Browns, or 31-6 Browns.
I mean, what are we doing? Honestly, Miami, what are we doing?
I can't believe we don't have an alert yet.
He had media availability today and talked about Tua being the starter this week.
Yeah.
So they're just operating. They're full steam ahead.
Like nothing happened.
They need a new GM. They need a new coach. They need a new quarterback. I mean, this thing has fallen completely off the rails. Tua is not playing well. McDaniel looks lost. There's just no adjustments. The roster's poorly constructed. You tried. It didn't work. You got shot after shot after shot at this. You need to clean house. The trio need to go.
The Patriots took it to the Titans on the road in Nashville.
I made a mistake here.
After falling down 10-3,
Yeah.
and everybody was thinking maybe the Patriots win this one 31-13.
This was my 1-point play last week. By the way, 5 points for me this week. Pretty good. A win for the show.
A win for the show.
I want to ban Addison, you said his name was?
Yes. Yep.
You took the Dolphins. What are you doing? I mean, you should be banned from participating for that type of selection.
Yeah, the Dolphins pick is bad.
It's tough.
And listen, I like Devon Achane too. That was his big reason.
I like him in fantasy, and if I'm betting on him.
And I would love for him to be on a different team.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Because it's not going to be with the Dolphins.
I made a mistake making the Titans my 1-point play because I got very excited about the new coach bump. Everyone knows here on the show I love the new coach bump. You fire your head coach, boom, you're playing well in that next game. If the line, it just feels wrong, I'm taking it. I forgot to factor in the other side of the math equation.
The revenge game.
It was the Mike Vrabel revenge game. I didn't factor that into my calculations. Mistake on my part. I was on vacation. I was kind of half in, half out on the picks. My bad. Didn't get the 1-point play. More importantly, Drake May is a problem.
Yeah, Drake May, very good.
Very good.
Cam Ward, I'm getting concerned. The fumble, as bad as I've seen across the league.
Remember, the Titans beat the Arizona Cardinals to pick up a win earlier this season.
Oh, I remember.
Thought I'd remind everybody that the Tennessee Titans, who played that poorly yesterday, fired their coach. They beat the Cardinals a couple weeks ago.
Yep, we remember their only win, 1-6.
Yeah, only win this season.
The Raiders headed to Kansas City and gave the Chiefs a fight for all of 0 seconds. 31-0 Chiefs.
Chiefs are back. Pete might be one and done.
Yep. If one gets the full year.
No, Pete Carroll deserves the respect of getting 17 games. But after that, they part ways.
It's really bad.
They
I mean,
traded
you've said it before. We're talking about a team that made multiple win now moves in a roster that wasn't ready. They drafted a running back in the first round, hired Pete Carroll, and brought in Geno Smith.
And gave him an extension, correct?
Yes.
You weren't ready to do all that, and you did it. This makes no sense, but I think he's one and done.
The Eagles head to Minnesota and beat the Vikings in a game where the passing offense gets unlocked. Jalen Hurts with a perfect passer rating and 3 touchdowns through the air.
It wasn't pretty because the Vikings kind of hung around this game longer than they should have, but a win is a win, and when your passing offense gets back on track, you have to feel good if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan today.
The 4-3 Carolina Panthers.
So in fairness to you, you have 1 hit and 1 miss. The Raiders, big miss on your part.
Yeah.
The Panthers, I'll give you all the credit in the world.
Being very fair, that's taking a chance on both teams.
Yes.
And not that I thought the Panthers were a playoff team. I just thought they were better than people were saying.
And they're 4-3 right now. Not going to have Bryce Young for the next couple of weeks. Andy Dalton's going to step in. An ankle sprain for Bryce Young. I think that's going to make the offense actually better.
I don't know about that because at least Bryce can run around a little.
Dalton can scoot a little bit. He can move.
You use the term scoot. I think that shows everything.
Yeah, he can scoot. That's the word I would use to describe Andy Dalton's mobility at this stage of his career. They beat the Jets 13-6. The Jets are the worst team in football. I mean, they just are. Not only record-wise, they don't have a win yet.
So I was thinking this in my head.
Their quarterback room is the worst in football.
So the Saints are the worst team in the NFC.
No.
In the NFC.
In the NFC. Okay, yes.
I think I would take them better than 4 teams in the AFC. They're better than Jets.
Saints.
They're better than the Raiders.
Yes.
They are, they're better than the Browns, maybe. They're better than the Dolphins, certainly. They're better than the Titans. I mean, at least 4 teams.
Well, clear the schedules, everybody. Clear what you're doing. I'm going to get the date here for you in a second because I know it's later on in the season. But stop everything you're doing. You want to talk about a must play. Just you got to sit down and clear your schedule, do whatever you want. Later on in the season, the New York Jets travel on the road. Nice crisp December 21st to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Just clear what you're doing, everybody. Jets Saints there in the early window.
Grab a Christmas cookie and a hot chocolate.
Scott Hansen is going to that game 0 times. 0.
Every scoring play gets shown.
Yeah, the final score is going to be 6-2. And I don't know who's winning, but it's going to be 6-2 the final. Sorry,
all right,
please.
Jets Panthers. Panthers won 13-6. That's the moral of the story there.
The Jets are the worst team in football.
Into the later window, the Giants and the Broncos in an all-time thriller. Broncos 33, Giants 32.
How do you let that happen if you're the Giants? 33 points in the fourth quarter. Jackson Dart has his moment, right? He has his moment as a rookie, leads the team on the huge drive, the 4th and 19. I think he only picks up 18 and a half. They give him the spot anyway. He gets the roughing the passer. That moves him up another 15 yards. They get one of the most bogus pass interference calls you ever see. Sean Payton adds on to it with a personal foul. They're at the 1-yard line. Dart gets in. They overturn it on replay to give him the touchdown. Then you miss the extra point. And you just know when that happens that they're going to at least get a kick at it. Once he missed the extra point, you knew.
The whole world knew the Giants had just made a massive mistake.
You knew Will Lutz was at least going to get an attempt at it. You didn't know if it was going to go in, but you knew after he missed it, okay, so he's at least lining up for it. And it's a chip shot. It's a 39-yarder, and the Giants lose in heartbreaking fashion. The Broncos continue to do this. They continue to play poorly and yet find ways to win. I'm out on Bo Nix. I'm out.
You're not a Bo Lever.
Not a Bo Lever. I'm out on Bo Nix. I'm in on Jackson Dart, though.
Yeah.
I'm in on Dart.
Listen, he threw a horrible interception that probably kept the Broncos into this game, but everything else was good. He was good yesterday.
He
wasn't great, but he was good.
I was listening to some New York sports talk radio yesterday into this morning, and they brought up a really good point. I think by him throwing that interception on, 3rd and 5?
Yeah.
If you just run the ball in that spot and you don't let him throw it, does he feel the confidence to throw the 4th and 19 play?
No.
Right? You kind of have to take the good with the bad to build his confidence.
Yes, he's a first of all, he's a young quarterback. I'm looking to put him in every situation because this Giants team just doesn't have the weapons or the talent without Malik Neighbors on the field to do anything.
Agreed.
So you just have to let him throw it around the yard. Let him figure it out.
I agree.
The Colts take it to the Chargers. I said all last week, you weren't here, but no team looking that ugly on the field can ever win in the NFL. I was proven right. And the best team in the AFC took it to them. 6-1 Colts.
Are the Colts going to be number 1 in the Schubert scale later on this week? I mean, there's a legitimate chance.
In Evans Risers, they're rising pretty good.
It's unbelievable what they're doing. I am amazed.
Another week where they put up, 38.
They just do whatever they want offensively. It doesn't matter the opponent. It just doesn't matter. Coaching, scheming, it matters. Daniel Jones looking like the best version of himself.
And they're the best running football team.
Wow.
In football.
Helps when you have Jonathan Taylor back.
It does. And people who forgot about him.
He's reminding you 3 touchdowns yesterday.
Arguably the other best offense in football, the Cowboys get to 3-1. Putting 44 on the Commanders at home. Cowboys win this one 44-22.
To me, this one is more about the Commanders. Jaden Daniels hurt again. Going to miss some time. This was always the worry with an undersized quarterback like Jaden Daniels is could he stay healthy? Could he stay upright? And now you worry that this is what this team is destined for this season, that they're never going to be able to gain any positive momentum because they're starting quarterbacks in the lineup, then he's out of the lineup, then he's back in the lineup, now he's out of the lineup again. They just are never able to build any positive momentum off of last year because they're just not healthy at the most important position on the field.
On Sunday night.
Oh, this was a huge 3 points for me. Massive 3-point play.
The 49ers with a 10-point win over the Falcons.
Yeah.
The Falcons, I just want to be very clear, are the worst road team I have ever seen.
Before yesterday, the Panthers had an argument. They were 0-3 on the road, and they were a totally different team. But they won yesterday in New York against the Jets. I mean, listen, don't bet against McCorkle Jones and the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, it's really that simple. I mean,
what did you call
his name? His name is McCorkle Jones.
No way.
Look it up. That's how we'll end the rewind, and you can look that up during the break when we come back on the other side. We've got buy or sell to close up hour number 1 here of the program. Producer Evan's reaction to Mac Jones' name being McCorkle.
Michael McCorkle Jones.
All of it on the other side of the break. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters and we kept signing people to contracts and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
The Kia Fall Sales Event is going on now at Mark Kia in Scottsdale. Right now, receive 0% APR for up to 72 months on a brand new 2025 Kia EV6. You heard right, 0%.
And if you're thinking about selling or trading your current vehicle, please give us a call. Our data shows that 9 out of 10 times we offer more. Don't cost yourself $1,000 or more by not making that simple phone call.
The name to remember, Mark Kia, Mark Kia.
It's the grand opening of Fulton Homes' newest master plan community, Acclaim. This beautiful community features open spaces, multiple parks, and a large aquatic center. Visit FultonHomes.com. Fulton Homes. You're proud to own. We're proud to build.
Come visit the all-new Wecopa Casino Resort, formerly Fort McDowell Casino. Whether you're visiting for slots, table games, the Valley's favorite bingo hall, golf, or food, our new smoke-free casino resort is the place to be. Enjoy a fine dining experience like no other at Ember, or go for the lively crowd at WKP Sportsbook and Bar. Wecopa offers 2 top 10 golf courses in the state, and the resort with heated pools and cabanas is the perfect place to relax. Come experience Wecopa Casino Resort today. At Wecopa, we have the best of it all.
Global Credit Union, how can I help you?
It's one of those voice prompts.
Representative! Good morning. How can I help?
Wait, is this a real person?
It's 2 a.m.
We're here to help members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Impossible.
At Global, possible. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
Nitro Circus is back with the all-new Off the Rails Tour. World-class daredevils and FMX, BMX, Shade Scooter, and more. Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, and never-been-done showdowns. Friday, December 5th, Desert Diamond Arena. Visit Ticketmaster.com.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back to wrap up hour number 1 here of the program. Thanks for hanging out with us in the lunch break. Chris Schubert with you. Good to be back after taking the last couple of weeks off. Married, honeymoon. Good to be back, though. Missed everybody. Missed doing the show. Felt like I had a lot of thoughts in real time that I wanted to share with everybody, but decided to stay true to taking the time off, resetting, and it is good to be back here with all of you. And we got a lot. Suns start this week. ASU in the middle of a big season. A lot of question marks remaining about the Arizona Cardinals. Diamondbacks offseason is going to be right around the corner, so plenty for us to get into here on the show. We wrap up hour number 1 of the program. A little buy or sell. Was there more buying or selling while I was gone?
Certainly more buying.
Really?
Certainly more buying. We got a few in every day. Certainly more buying. Are you ready?
Of course. That's what the music is there for. Since I'm ready.
Actually, we're all over the place. We got all three teams in town.
Okay.
Realize I don't have the Diamondbacks in there.
Okay, so 3. Okay.
The Cardinals will end up picking in the top 10 of the NFL draft.
That's where they sit right now, right?
It's currently where they sit.
Boy, I think they'll find a way to win a couple of games here because they're not Saints bad, they're not Jets bad, they're not Titans bad, right? Offensively, they've been better the last 2 weeks. I expect the defense to be able to find a stop in the fourth quarter eventually. So I expect them to probably end up around 6 or 7 wins. I think they're still going to fall short of the playoffs. That's going to probably have them picking outside the top 10, which is a bad spot to be if you're going to make a quarterback change, picking like 13th. but that feels like what they're destined for. So, no, I do not think they will pick in the top 10.
So we're selling that.
I will sell that they will be selecting in the top 10.
The Suns, who start their season on Wednesday, home against the Kings, will start the year 3-1. I'll run you through their first 4 games.
Okay.
You have the Kings at home on Wednesday.
Okay.
2 days later, you travel to play the Clippers on the road, Nuggets on the road, and then Jazz on the road.
Should be able to beat Utah. Should be able to beat Sacramento at home. So you're asking me, can they win one of 2 on the road against LA and Denver? Now, it's a long season, but if they find a way to start 3-1, boy, is that a great first impression for Jordan Ott, Brian Gregory, and everybody involved. I'll sell it, though. I think those 2 games in the middle are tough, and I got to see it, right? Let's see how they come out against Sacramento at home. So I'll sell for the moment. I want to be a buyer. I do.
If they start 3-1, I mean, you said it, but the first impression, I'm all in on Jordan Ott.
Okay, you're all in on Jordan Ott. I thought you were going to say you were all in on this season. I was just going to say pump the brakes on that a little bit. Yeah, I want to talk about this probably either tomorrow or Wednesday, since the season gets started on Wednesday. We can do it either on tomorrow's show or Wednesday's show. I want to talk about what the proper expectations are this season for this team, and more specifically, what we want to see from Jordan Ott. Because I think there is very specific stuff that Jordan Ott can show us that doesn't mean results in the box score.
Yeah, certainly.
So I want to unpack that a little bit later on in the week.
If they come out and play great defense down the stretch but can't get the buckets, I think that would be something different, something people want to see.
I think it goes a little beyond that. I think there is you just got to show me that you know what you're doing.
Yeah, experience.
You got to show me that you either can adjust quickly on the fly when you make a mistake, or that you don't make the mistake in the first place.
ASU will win out until the Big 12 championship.
I mean, do you have the schedule handy?
I do have it handy.
Because I'm going to need, I know Houston and Iowa State are their next 2.
Yes, if Houston at home, yeah. Iowa State on the road, West Virginia at home, Colorado on the road,
Colorado's
and then
been bad.
U of A at home.
Boy, if you get through Iowa State, you feel really good about their chances of running the table, right?
Certainly do.
So it's really these next 2. They've opened up as 8-point favorites.
If you run the
Houston.
table, you have a very good chance at getting in. The 2 teams in front of you in the Big 12, Cincinnati and BYU, both undefeated, do play each other.
Okay, so if you win out and one of them has to lose, then it would come down to it is my first day back. It is October. I am not doing the Big 12 tiebreakers show today. I'm not doing it, but it would come down to tiebreakers, and ASU hasn't played either of those teams, nor will they play either of those teams this season, correct?
Correct.
So you don't have the head-to-head, so then it goes into common opponents, and again, it's my first day back. It's October. I'm not doing that show today, but that's what it would come down to.
That is what it would come down to. The Colts.
Very similar to how it broke last year, by the way.
Yes, almost exactly the same. The Colts will be the 1 seed in the AFC, and the AFC will run through the Temple of Doom in Indiana.
I need this just so we can have the video packages hyping up Colts home playoff games and referring to it as the Temple of Doom. Just on that principle alone, I want to buy it. I still think Buffalo's a better team. But honestly, after Buffalo, is there anybody else that you think is definitively better than Indy? No. I don't think Pittsburgh's definitively better than Indy.
I was going to say, I think last week you could have argued Pittsburgh. That defense is terrible.
They gave up 30 points to Joe Flacco and the Cincinnati Bengals. So other than Buffalo, there's not a team I really imagine saying this sentence before the season. If I'm the Colts, the only team I fear right now is the Buffalo Bills.
And maybe
right
the
now,
Chiefs, but they're not going to, the Chiefs need to play perfect football. You see the Colts losing 2 more games?
You got the standings up?
I do, yeah.
Where are the Chiefs right now?
Chiefs are 4-3, third in the AFC West.
But where are they overall in the conference? I think they're 8th or 9th. They're on the outside looking in right now of the playoff race.
They are.
So they need some help. So, yes, they're playing better, and I think they're back, but the Colts have done a lot of great work here in the early part of the season to set themselves up in a big way, and it's just an unbelievable job. I mean, Shane Steichen is the easy Coach of the year right now.
People had him on the hot seat.
Yeah, not Coach of the year right now. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. When we come back, do the Cardinals have themselves a quarterback controversy? That's next. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
At Winco, we're working to save you money. Big savings on top quality meat, produce, seafood, and deli. Bakery fresh breads, cakes, and cookies made daily in store. Low prices on top quality national brands and thousands of our own private label. In every aisle, every department, every day.
9 stores in the Phoenix area, including the new Santan Valley location.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. I know finding a dream engagement ring can be overwhelming, but don't worry, we got you. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond at Shane Company is truly the best of the best. Our team travels the world to see diamonds up close, in person. We handpick each one for its unique fire, brilliance, and scintillation. Diamond buying is an art. Of course, we look at cut, color, clarity, and carat, known as the 4 C's, but that's not all. We also look at how each diamond looks on a hand, where it will be worn, how it makes you feel, and if it's worthy of a Shane Company customer. That type of expertise only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. We also think about your budget. We only pick the best in each grade in all shapes and sizes. Your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Ooh, Del Taco? Yep, they got these new boxes that are loaded with my faves.
Big boxes, come on, can I get a Del, yeah?
Del, yeah.
What was that?
Oh, I bring these guys everywhere. Really enhances the experience.
Del Taco's El Big Boxes now come with bigger burritos. Try the $5 Classico, $7 Mex Faves, and $9 Amerimex box. More food, more flavor, more value. Only at Del Taco.
Del, yeah.
Price of participation may vary.
This fall, choose Primavera Online, and you'll be choosing a school with flexibility, personalized support, and an award-winning curriculum that's over 20 years strong. Now enrolling grades K to 12 at chooseprimavera.com.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2, lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you. Back in the saddle. It's good to be back. Good to be with all of you, whether you're listening to us on KDUS AM 1060, you're hanging out with us on the KDUS AM 1060 app, joining us over on the YouTube side of things. However you are listening, enjoying the program, we appreciate you choosing us here today on the show. A quarterback controversy. Is there one for the Arizona Cardinals? The last 2 weeks, it's been Jacoby Brissett under center for the Arizona Cardinals in the wake of Kyler Murray dealing with a foot injury. And I don't think it takes a trained eye. I don't think it takes a scout's eye, a coach's eye, somebody who's been in the NFL 15, 20, 25, 30 years to see that the offense has been better with Jacoby Brissett under center for this team. You want some statistical proof to back that up? Saw this on social media today from Bo Brock over at PHNX Cardinals. Weeks 1 through 5, this is where the Cardinals ranked. 25th in points per game, 26th in yards per game, 16th in third down conversion, less than 40% on third down, weeks 1 through 5. So points per game, 25th, bottom part of the league. Yards per game, 288, under 300 yards, 26. That's one of the worst marks in football. 30th in passing yards per game, 16th on third downs. The last 2 weeks, Jacoby Brissett under center, 12th in points per game, 10th in yards per game, 5th in passing yards per game, 1st in third down conversions, converting nearly 58% of the time, 57.1 to be exact. Statistically, it is a noticeable difference under center with Jacoby Brissett, with Kyler Murray. Now, in fairness, that hasn't led to different results. Brissett is 0-2. So this offense that has looked different, this offense that has operated differently, has been more efficient, has been more productive. By the way, producer Evan, not hearing a lot of calls for Drew Petzing's job here over the last couple of weeks. That's really quieted down. That's why you got to look at it, 30,000-foot view, put everything into the blender, mix it up, and see what the answer is. But you haven't won the 2 games with Brissett under center. But obviously, those stats lead to a conversation about a quarterback controversy. And I think that conversation about a quarterback controversy is 2 camps. I think you're either in one of these 2 camps. You are either in the camp that thinks this season is still worth something, that this season can still be saved, that this team can still make the postseason. If you're in that camp, despite being 2-5, you've seen positive signs from the offense from the last 2 weeks. You point to a couple of plays here and there that go your way, and all of a sudden we're talking about a 5-2 Cardinals team and not a 2-5 Cardinals team. A couple of breaks go their way, and they're 3-4 or 4-3 going into this bye week, and it's a totally different feel. If you feel that way today, then I think there's a legitimate argument to be made that Jacoby Brissett gives the Cardinals a better chance to do all of those things, to save the season, that the season is still worth saving, that the team can still make the playoffs. Jacoby Brissett statistically has been the better quarterback in the 2 weeks that he's been under center. So if you still think this season is worth something, and by the way, everybody in that building thinks that, no coach is going to give in and throw in the towel at 2-5. So this is the feeling that everybody in that building has. Then Jacoby Brissett should be the starter. Jacoby Brissett should be the guy under center. Statistically, he's the answer. The other camp is that you think the season is over. It's where I'm certainly leaning right now. I did a whole opening monologue today about how the next 10 games for me are about Jonathan Gannon showing me something that makes me think he deserves year 4. But if you think the season is over, then there really isn't a quarterback controversy. You've made your decision. You've said that the season is over. Kyler Murray's not going to be back here next season. If you're admitting already in week 7 that this year is over, that's it. We said in the summertime, what did Kyler have to do to prove that he deserved another year? That proved that he needed one more chance, that they were going to stick by him. They needed to make the playoffs. He needed to be a large part of that. Well, if you are admitting in week 7 that the season is over, then Kyler has already, even with 10 games to go, failed those expectations, so it's over. We are going to have a spring of quarterbacks here in town. It's going to be like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette for the Arizona Cardinals trying to find their next quarterback. That's what the spring looks like. If you are in that camp, then you've decided Kyler's not the guy. Kyler's gone at the end of the season. We are not bringing him back. The team has to move on. Guess what? You have to play Kyler Murray. You have to play Kyler Murray in these last 10 games because you need him to have even just a little bit of trade value if you're going to move on. If this season is over, if you're admitting that it's over, and you bench Kyler Murray and you go to Jacoby Brissett anyway, how are you trading him for anything of value? You're just going to have to cut him and eat that dead money for this year, for 2026 and for probably 2027 as well. Everybody in that building puts themselves in the camp of, we still think this season is savable. Then you go to Jacoby Brissett. But the byproduct of that, and this is where a GM has to balance the short term and the long term. How am I going to move on from Kyler Murray? Because to me, there is no going back. If Jonathan Gannon and the Arizona Cardinals make the decision to turn to Jacoby Brissett for their season, it is over. Kyler Murray is done here in Arizona. He can be on the sidelines as the backup in case of an injury. He cannot go back in as a starter. It is over, and you have now torpedoed the trade value. This is why starting this year this poorly is so bad. Not only have you probably flushed away your chances of making the postseason, but you've also put yourself in quarterback purgatory in the middle of a season. Because everybody agrees that Jacoby Brissett has looked better in this offense. Everybody agrees that this offense will continue to look better with Jacoby Brissett under center. But by doing that, you are torpedoing your chances this spring to get anything of value for Kyler. Now, if I'm a coach, I don't care about that. I got to win football games. I'm trying to save my job. But if you're Monty Ossenfort, it's your job to look ahead. It's your job to look to March and April and May of next year. And it's going to make your job 10 times harder to move on. You're basically just going to have to cut him and eat the money. That's the crux of this quarterback controversy right now, because I don't think there's a controversy. The better quarterback offensively has been Jacoby Brissett. Results haven't been there. And that's why I think they're just going to go back to Kyler, because the results are no different with Jacoby Brissett. So going back to Kyler allows them to keep the option open of trading him at the end of the offseason. And if he can play decent enough and they can maybe win 6 or 7 games and he can show flashes, he's going to have some trade value. But this is a really tough spot for this team, and I don't know where they go. Because at 2-5, you think the season is over. Well, that means they got to play Kyler Murray. But no coach is going to admit at 2-5 that the season is done. No coach is going to admit that they can't turn things around and go on a run and play relevant, meaningful football. Because, I mean, look around right now. Look around the NFC. Washington can't get out of their own way. Dallas can't get out of their own way. If you can get hot, then you still have a chance, and that's what all of those coaches are thinking. The problem is the right quarterback for that isn't Kyler Murray. But there's a byproduct of that impacts what they're able to do in the offseason. Now, Jonathan Gannon, yesterday, I don't think there's a quarterback controversy. Kyler's going to be the starter when they come back on Monday against the Dallas Cowboys. Whether that's the right decision, we can debate that here over the next 2 weeks.
And you discussed currently the 4-2 Lions, the Bears, the Panthers are like the 3 teams fighting for that 7th seed. And yeah, you're a few games behind, but you don't feel that far off from being where they could have been. But it's over. You're not going to catch them now. You're 2-5. I get it. Maybe a few plays change. Maybe this season is different. You can't run Brissett out there. At 2-5, the season is over. You know who else is 2-5? The New York Giants. You know who's one loss worse than you? The New Orleans Saints. Other than that, there is nobody as bad as you in the National Football Conference. And at the end of the day, it's pack it in, make sure Kyler has some sort of value in the offseason, and get back to where you need to be, because this thing is off the rails and you need to get it back on track.
Yeah, the easiest thing to do as an organization is to just put Kyler back in there under center, because he was your starter before the year. You've endorsed him every step of the way. You need him to keep some semblance of trade value. Matthew pointed out on the YouTube side of things, and I agree with this part of it, Kyler obviously provides the higher ceiling at the quarterback position between him and Brissett. The floor maybe is better with Jacoby Brissett, but the ceiling is obviously higher with Kyler Murray and the skill set that he provides. And so the easier decision here is to go back to Kyler Murray on Monday against Dallas, because it keeps the trade value conversation in play. It's the guy who was your starter. It's the guy that gives you the higher ceiling. It's the guy who's been your starter since you got here. You don't have any controversy. You put it immediately to bed. That's the easier thing to do. But boy, is that going to be a hard sell to a fan base that's watched the last 2 weeks the offense be, I gave you the stats earlier in the segment, one of the worst offenses in football in points per game and yards per game the first 5 weeks of the season. Last 2 weeks, I think it was 12th in points per game, 10th in yards per game. A night and day difference offensively. If we were just going by the statistics, Jacoby Brissett should be the starter on Monday against Dallas. But we don't make decisions in a vacuum like that. There's the other context. There's the elephant in the room of, if you do this, you're admitting that you are moving on from Kyler, and you're making it more difficult to do so in the offseason. So to me, I don't think there's a controversy, because I think they're just going to go back to Kyler because it's the easiest thing for them to do. Now, it may cost Jonathan Gannon his job if they continue to play poorly and lose games, but I think they're going to go down with Kyler as their starting quarterback.
I think they have to. For the same, almost for a different reason, but like a very similar conversation to where it was for the D-backs at the end of the year of you have to play Blaze, you have to play Jordan Lawler so that you know where they're at. I know what Kyler Murray is, but the rest of the league needs to see that we didn't bench him and that he's healthy now and has value still at quarterback so that I can move on, right? Like, this is now about taking the step into 2026 and beyond, and it's not going to be with Kyler Murray. It may not be without this whole regime, but to put my best foot forward, I have to move on from the quarterback without just cutting him.
The Cardinals find themselves in the middle of this season in quarterback purgatory because everybody knows what's coming in the springtime now, right? Everybody knows. Unless there is a magical turnaround where Kyler comes back and this team wins out and they make the postseason and they win a playoff game, we all know what's coming in the spring. They are going to move on at this position. How best do they get there while not sacrificing the little leverage they possess already in the spring? Because right now you don't have any leverage. Any team that you're trying to trade Kyler Murray to is going to say it's a big contract and you want to move on from it. So I'm not giving you top-tier draft capital. I'm not giving you a top-tier player. You already have little leverage. You completely destroy that leverage if you turn to Jacoby Brissett right now. There will still be a team. There'll still be an offensive coordinator. There'll still be an offensive-minded head coach that thinks they are the team, they are the system, just like it's to a smaller degree, just like what Indy did with Daniel Jones. There's going to be a team out there that thinks they can be, for Kyler Murray, what the Indianapolis Colts were for Daniel Jones. But Daniel Jones didn't have a big contract associated with him. Daniel Jones didn't have to be acquired via a trade where draft pick compensation or a player had to be sent back. He got signed off the scrap heap on a one-year deal. That's what Daniel Jones did. So you have little leverage. If you sit Kyler Murray, you torpedo what little leverage you do have. That's what makes this such an interesting conversation. Because statistically, Jacoby's the right guy. Statistically, if you're trying to save the season, Jacoby gives you a better outlook. But I just don't know if organizationally the Cardinals can bring themselves to do it. I just don't know. I don't think they're going to.
I don't either. I really don't either. It is going to be another interesting offseason for another team here in town. We've been talking about that for 3 different teams. But it feels as if we're going to have another offseason of a lot of turnover for another team in town.
If you thought the Suns' offseason of moving from Durant, moving on from Coach Bud, getting in a new GM, and everything that we went through in the summertime with that team, supercharge it if the Cardinals continue on the pace that they're on right now. Because if they continue on this trajectory, we're talking new coach, we're talking probably new GM, we're definitely talking new quarterback, and in the NFL, everything's turned up to a 12. The noise is so much louder than it is in the NBA. And oh, by the way, in the middle of that, we're going to have a Diamondbacks offseason that's going to be pretty important as well. And it is a sad state of affairs when the off seasons for these franchises are more entertaining, more interesting than the actual product they're putting on the field. The court, the diamond. That's a major problem. And Jonathan Gannon, Monty, they were supposed to come in here and fix that. It was supposed to be about what happened on the field. And here we are in year 3 talking about a potential quarterback controversy. Here we are talking about a team that's 2-5 going into their bye week, talking about a team that is on the cusp of needing to completely tear it all down and start over yet again. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, it's the best 2 words in sports. Game 7. That's next. The lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Ben DiNucci, NFL quarterback. I'm still going to introduce you as NFL quarterback. Being on the practice squad, what's the difference in how you're treated, lifestyle?
Honestly, nothing's different. I mean, there's 53 guys on the active roster and there's 16 on the practice squad. And the reality of the NFL is that guys are going to get hurt. There's a reason that these teams put a lot of effort into the practice squad, just like they do the active roster. It's really all the same. You're still traveling with the team. The pay cut's a little bit less, but at the end of the day, it's still great.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and the KTUS 1060 app.
Every month in Arizona, there are a reported 4 to 6 infants that die in an unsafe sleep environment. If you have a baby under 1 year of age, make sure you follow the ABCs of safe sleep every time they nap or sleep. Alone. Babies should sleep alone with nothing surrounding them. Back. Always lay babies on their back to sleep. Crib. A crib is the safest place for baby to sleep. To learn more, visit azdcs.gov/safesleep.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name. And the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. However, if left untreated, could lead to costly repairs. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and closed, all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com, A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
And this is Above the Noise. It's hard to script a better weekend than the one Notre Dame just had. Not only did the Irish take care of business against USC, their most bitter rival, but the rest of college football seemed to crumble around them. While Marcus Freeman's squad was handling the Trojans in South Bend, the scoreboard across the country kept flashing good news for the Irish. Number 2, Miami, fell to unranked Louisville. Number 5, Ole Miss, taken apart by Georgia. Number 11, Tennessee, handled by Alabama. And LSU, they fell to Vandy. One by one, teams ranked ahead of Notre Dame dropped like dominoes, clearing the path for a massive move up in the polls. Notre Dame didn't just win this weekend, they positioned themselves back in the national title conversation. Marcus Freeman needed a statement win, and he got it this weekend at home. As for the rest of college football, they may have just handed Notre Dame the perfect weekend on a silver platter. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise.
When it comes to great meat, quality, freshness, and care make all the difference. That's the Heartland difference. At Heartland Steak Co., you're getting premium Midwestern meats, hand-cut, hand-picked, and delivered straight to your door. From juicy USDA prime and choice beef to all-natural pork and tender chicken, Heartland Steak Co. brings that true Midwest flavor right to your table. Perfect for backyard barbecues, weeknight dinners, or sending gifts of great taste, they've got you covered. Ordering is easy at heartlandsteakco.com. Choose from Grill Master packages, freezer filler bundles, or holiday gift boxes. Everything's flash frozen at peak freshness, so it's ready when you are. And here's the deal. When you spend $199.99 or more, you'll get free shipping and $25 off your order with promo code SAVE25. That's heartlandsteakco.com, your one-stop shop for premium Midwest meats delivered straight to your door. Taste the Heartland difference. Visit heartlandsteakco.com and use code SAVE25 today.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
Even if Troy Aikman pretty much said the NFL product sucked last night, he's not wrong. I thought this was supposed to be a brand new Jets. They're more dysfunctional and more undisciplined than ever. You know what would actually be brand new for the Jets? A new head coach starting 0-5. That has never happened, but it looks like there's a very good chance it's about to happen.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Producer Evan, are there two better words in sports than Game 7? Can't think of any.
Nope, especially not in baseball.
We have tonight ALCS Game 7 between the Blue Jays and Mariners, and I selfishly enjoyed that this series has gone 7 because I find myself rooting for both teams.
That's what I was going to say, too. It's like, I don't know who I want to win any given night.
So just keep playing until there's no more, and tonight there will be no more, and then starting, on Friday will be the World Series between
either the Mariners and the Dodgers or the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. And for the Mariners, it would be the first World Series appearance in their franchise's history if they were to win tonight and take on the Dodgers. The Dodgers are embracing the moniker of ruining baseball. Dave Roberts certainly is embracing that. So I think most of the world outside of Los Angeles, California will be rooting for whoever comes out of the American League tonight. And the other reason why I've enjoyed this series so much is these are two teams you don't see in this spot very often. It's not the Yankees. It's not the Red Sox. This isn't the Astros as of late. These are two teams that have been in the postseason but have never been able to break through to this moment. And tonight, one of them is going to break through and make it to the World Series. So that other part of it is exciting, that there is some parity to all of this, especially on the American League.
Yeah, that's the fun part. And if you don't want a full season lockout, you're rooting for the Mariners or the Blue Jays all the way through. Probably the Mariners.
I still think you're getting a lockout regardless, but I hear your overall point, yes.
This series has been awesome. Back and forth. It was one of those series that I kind of had said when you were gone, I don't know if the Mariners can match the Blue Jays offense. And for the first two games, that pitching held them non-existent. And then the Blue Jays came back and answered the bell. And now we're in 7.
I don't want to be this guy that talks about what I did while I was gone for 2 weeks. I want to just kind of get back into the flow of things. But I do think this is important because I was up in Seattle. I was up there. That's where we went on our honeymoon last week. And so I was up there when they won games 1 and 2 to take the 2-0 lead. And they were coming back for game 3. It was actually the day before we left game 3 was at T-Mobile Field in downtown Seattle. The buzz was incredible. The entire, everywhere. We were staying a little outside of Seattle. Everywhere was rallying around this team. You couldn't go anywhere in downtown Seattle without the game being on in the middle of the day when they were playing up in Toronto. The stuff was stopping to get a score update for this game. So to be there, to see that, to see the way, and I'm sure it's the same in Toronto, obviously, just the same way it would be in LA for the Dodgers. But there was just something about being there that I find myself rooting for Seattle. Like if I had to lean one way or the other, that's where I'm leaning because I was up there for it. We almost went to game 3. That was the blowout game that the Blue Jays had, so kind of glad we didn't go. Would have been disappointing to have that be the way that the trip ended. But it's just, it is fun to see teams that you don't normally see get this spotlight, get this moment. And to see Vlad Guerrero Jr. have the spotlight the way that he's had it and thrive in it, the way Cal Raleigh has thrived in the postseason, in the spotlight, having an MVP caliber season is probably going to win the MVP, has carried that over into the postseason. And tonight, I mean, you got a great pitching matchup. You got George Kirby, Shane Bieber. It's game 7. It's all hands on deck. You never know who's going to pop out of the bullpen in this game to try to get some key outs. That's the other part of it, too. When you don't have the rooting interest, you can get excited for all the different chess pieces and all the moves. If you're a Seattle fan or a Toronto fan, I feel for you because this is not going to be a fun day.
Not fun at all.
Not a fun lead up to 5-10 tonight when this game gets underway. But for me, a bystander, somebody who just loves baseball the way that I do, it is going to be amazing to watch the way these two managers try to get the 27 outs required to go to the World Series.
It is going to be, you said it, all hands on deck. Anybody who has pitched in this series will probably pitch tonight. And for both of these teams, they are two teams that haven't been to the World Series in not my lifetime. So for me, I get to see a new team in the World Series. It feels like it's the Mariners, doesn't it? If I had to take somebody, it feels like it's the Mariners, but the Blue Jays have just went to Seattle, took 2 or 3, came home, took game 6. Gosh, last night was a huge, huge win.
Blue Jays are favored in Vegas.
It puts all the pressure back on the Mariners.
The two teams have met up 12 times this season. The Blue Jays are 7-5.
I was going to say, is it 6-6?
It is that razor thin between these two teams. If the Mariners win tonight, the season series will be split 7 wins for the Blue Jays, 6 wins for the Mariners. The Mariners, 4 of their 6 wins coming at the most important time of the year. This is the 13th time these two teams have met up, including the regular season. And it has been right down the middle. And tonight, the guy going for the Blue Jays in a must-win game is a trade deadline acquisition in Shane Bieber.
How about the Blue Jays down 2-0 turn to Shane Bieber and Max Scherzer, who get him wins in 3 and 4, and who Max Scherzer with one of the gutsier performances I've seen. Truly, one of the gutsier performances I've seen.
Interestingly enough here, I have the ESPN little game cast up here. This is according to ESPN Bet's numbers. It opened Seattle minus 150
for Game 7.
For Game 7, it is closing Toronto minus 130. So a lot of money pouring in on Toronto.
Really?
To go from minus 150, they open. Seattle open is the favorite. They are going to close, at least right now, plus 110. They're going to close as the underdog. Opened as a small favorite, going to close as a small dog. And I think that's fair. It's Game 7. It's been 3-3. This has been a tightly contested series. It's kind of gone back and forth. So going from a small favorite to a small underdog makes sense.
And I wonder, too, how much of that is Kirby, you imagine, has a short leash tonight. I mean, he got rocked in Game 3.
Everybody has a short leash tonight. Everybody. Trouble in the first inning, I'm getting the bullpen going. There's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's no tomorrow if I'm down 6-0 in the first inning. I can't even let it get to that point. I may get my bullpen turned up if it's 1-0. Somebody hits a solo shot in the first, I'm getting the bullpen going because I got to keep the game at 1-0.
Yeah, you can't let it go too much further. Ever.
By the way, you want to get into the building? $213, the lowest ticket that I have seen to get in tonight to the
Can I be
Rogers
honest
Center.
with you? I thought it'd be higher.
Well, I mean, you're sitting in the 500 level. You want to sit closer? I can get you closer.
Yeah, give me.
Oh, you want to sit?
Get me right down there on the field.
Okay, $4,600 a ticket to sit right there on the field.
Nice. I'm gonna be right there.
Right there, just
right there in the action.
So, producer Evan not going to be here tomorrow on the program because he's leaving right after this, catching a flight to Toronto. Got your passport all ready to go?
I'm gonna need a 6-month advance.
But you can get in for $213 for Game 7 to watch the Blue Jays potentially go to the World Series. If I lived in Toronto and I was a Blue Jays fan, I think I'd pay the $200 there.
You ready for this? How about this? So I got a buddy who's from Seattle, lives in Seattle. He has tickets if they go to the World Series. I have a friend who's from Toronto. He lives here. He's flying home on Wednesday, tickets to Game 2 to the World Series. And then I have a friend from LA who has tickets only if the Blue Jays win. He could go to Game 4 because he would be visiting home. So that he would need the Dodgers to be the away team in the World Series. I have 3 different friends who have a lot riding on whether they can go to a World Series game tonight.
By the way, 3 friends who all have different rooting interests. None of them have guaranteed tickets for a World Series game.
No.
None of them do. No. They all have potential, but none of them have guaranteed World Series tickets. You just outlined 3 different scenarios where there's World Series tickets on the line. Nobody's got a guaranteed spot.
No.
Game 7 tonight. What more? And I have some buddies of mine getting together here after the show tonight. And we are getting together for Game 7 and for the Monday night doubleheader.
It's going to be awesome.
Multi-screen experience tonight. So big sports night here. Game 7 in the American League Championship Series. Can't wait to take that in tonight. When we come back, 5 straight losses for the Arizona Cardinals. And they all kind of have a similar theme. That's next. The lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster.
For everyone out, we finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we can be connected here and there.
Let's watch a movie.
And we have Netflix included to enjoy our favorite shows and movies.
¿Qué tal esta? Bacanísima, pero ya la vi.
Now the hard part is getting them to agree on a movie.
Switch today and get the new Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus with Galaxy AI, all on the best network in the U.S. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile. 1-800-T-Mobile. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla. Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond is worthy of a Shane Company engagement ring. Our team travels the world to see diamonds in person and handpick each one. That type of dedication only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. No matter your budget, your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
If you could rewind 10 years, what would you do differently? Buy Apple stock at $20? Skip the ghost pepper challenge? Maybe even rethink the skinny jeans. Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Some regrets are harmless, termite damage isn't. You can't go back in time, but you can keep termites from eating your future. Call 602-BLUE-SKY today for your free termite inspection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, pests.
And now, name something dads can do at the Arizona State Fair.
Have your first kiss on the Sky Ride.
Yes!
Hold purses and a beer and a turkey leg and still look cool.
Yes, you are correct.
The 2025 Arizona State Fair, open at noon Thursdays through Sundays in October. Check out azstatefair.com for tickets.
Hi, I'm Andrew the Homebuyer. Selling your house right now the traditional way isn't so easy. The average home is taking months to sell. Fortunately, I can help. I'll come to your home and give you a cash offer within minutes. Then we can close in under 5 days. And I'll make sure you get as much money for your house as possible. Call me, Andrew the Homebuyer, today, and let's get your home sold. Visit AndrewTheHomebuyer.com. That's AndrewTheHomebuyer.com.
Meet Barkley. When Barkley smells gas, he leaves fast. When Barkley hears hissing coming from a gas appliance, he leaves fast. When Barkley sees dirt or water shooting from the ground, he leaves fast. Barkley then calls 911 and Southwest Gas from a safe location.
Did that dog just grab a phone and dial 911?
Gas lines can be buried anywhere, so remember to call 911 and Southwest Gas.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KTUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Five straight losses for the Arizona Cardinals. And there is a discouraging theme that has emerged in those 5 losses, or at least in 4 of those 5 losses. I want to take you back to week 3 on the road at San Francisco. Cardinals found themselves outscored 10-9 in the fourth quarter, lost that game. Week 4 against Seattle. They actually won the fourth quarter of that game 14-6, but their poor performance in the first half dug themselves too big of a hole. They lost that one. Week 5 against Tennessee, outscored 16-0 in the fourth quarter. Week 6 at Indianapolis, outscored 14-3 in the fourth quarter. Week 7, that's yesterday, against Green Bay, outscored 14-3 in the fourth quarter. Producer Evan, I know it's my first day back. I'd like to do a little math. 16-0, 14-3, 14-3. Last 3 weeks for the Arizona Cardinals have been outscored 44-6 in the fourth quarter. 44-6 in the last 3 games in the fourth quarter. You cannot play that poorly in the fourth quarter in these close games and be considered a good team in the NFL. You can't get outscored 44-6 the last 3 weeks in the fourth quarter alone and consider yourself a playoff team. The Cardinals, shout out to the NFL on Fox for this statistic. They are the first team in NFL history. No, not those stats where they say in the modern era, the expansion era, the history of the sport of football, to lose 3 straight games after leading by 7 points or more entering the fourth quarter. The first team in NFL history since the NFL has been a thing. No team has ever lost 3 consecutive weeks when they went into the fourth quarter with a lead of 7 points or more. Your 2025 Arizona Cardinals, ladies and gentlemen, they've done it. They've entered the history books. And this goes beyond quarterback play. Because in the last 3 weeks, you've had both quarterbacks under center. Both quarterbacks have played in this 5-game stretch that we're trying to evaluate. Both have been under center for these collapses. See, I could accept getting outscored 44-6 in the fourth quarter. I could accept 5 straight losses in which you're close, but you just don't get over the hump. If this is year 1 of a regime, if this is a new coaching staff trying to find themselves, trying to find their footing, they're still learning on the job. This is year 3 for Jonathan Gannon. This is year 3 for Drew Petzing. This is year 3 for Nick Rollis. This is year 3 of these guys working together. And let's be fair, a lot of the players on the offensive side in year 2 are here in year 3. A lot of the guys that were here defensively in year 2 are here in year 3. The players that you've brought in, you brought in Josh Sweat, a veteran, guy who knows how to win. Calais Campbell, veteran, guy who knows how to win. Dalvin Tomlinson, same thing. You brought in veterans to this team who have a pedigree of winning, who have a pedigree of understanding what needs to be done in these crunch time moments, and you're still not getting it done. You went through last year. Second half collapse. You got to the bye week 6-4. Completely lost control of your team in the second half of that season. Couldn't figure it out. Couldn't buy an answer if they were selling it at the local Walmart. You couldn't buy an answer to your problems in the second half last year. And at the end of the season, we said, man, that is a disappointing end to the year, but they were shorthanded defensively. They were ahead of schedule. It was year 2. Let them fix this defense. Let them invest with some draft capital and some free agency money. And year 3 is the year where everything normally pops. Okay, we all bought that. We all bought in. Okay, it's year 3. Had a schedule. Yeah, you should have done more. You should have been hosting a home playoff game, but okay. I'll grant that to you. It was year 2, had a schedule. You overperformed a little bit. What's the excuse now? Because you needed to show this year that you learned from what happened last year. You needed to show that you learned from starting the year 6-4 and collapsing the way that you did. The Arizona Cardinals are 4-11 in their last 15 games. That is nearly a season's worth of games that they have played. They're 4-11. One of the worst teams in football. They lose their next 2 games. In their last 17 games, they will be 4-13. That's fireable. That's, we need to make a change. That's you not showing us that the arrow is trending in the positive direction. And so to me, to wrap a bow on this to where we started today's show, this falls on the head coach. And can I be honest with you for just a second? You kind of expect a defensive-minded head coach, for all his flaws in today's modern NFL. You see teams mostly hire offensive-minded guys because that's the way the game is going. You need to be innovative on that side of the ball. But that's where all the advantages are. And if you don't lean into it, you feel like you're behind. The one advantage that you should have with a defensive-minded head coach is I should know how to handle myself in close games in the fourth quarter. I should know how to finish a game. I should know how to make the right decisions aggressively on fourth down, what defenses to call. When I have a small lead late, this team with a defensive-minded head coach should have that killer instinct in the fourth quarter defensively. They should have that killer instinct as a team because that's where they want to play. Jonathan Gannon wants to play games like he's played the last 5 weeks. He wants to play games where they control the time of possession, where it's close, and he puts the trust on his defense. And he puts the trust on his offense to execute a 4-minute drill, to run out the clock. That's where Jonathan Gannon, as a defensive-minded head coach, wants to play football. Guess what? He's bad at it. He's not good playing that brand of football. Something has to change. Or else, Jonathan Gannon's going to be a defensive coordinator somewhere next season. These last 5 games, 4 of the last 5 where they've been outscored in the fourth quarter, being outscored 44-6. The last 3 games in the fourth quarter against Tennessee, Indy, and Green Bay. Got outscored 44-6. That is on coaching. You've had
two different quarterbacks play. So I don't want to hear about the offensive coordinator and the offensive play calling. I don't want to hear about who's under center playing quarterback. You've had both guys play. This falls on coaching. This falls on a head coach that I don't know if he has that killer instinct in the fourth quarter. He seemingly is always making the wrong call. He is seemingly always making the wrong decision. The Cardinals are always on the wrong end of these close plays in the fourth quarter. And I could let it go if it was year one of a regime trying to learn on the job, find their footing. If this was year one, Jonathan Gannon, I would not be red hot. This stuff's supposed to be cleaned up by now. This stuff is supposed to be in the past. You're supposed to learn from these games in year one and year two. You're supposed to learn about not finishing the season the way that you didn't finish last season. And to start this year, you're doing the same things. I'll remind everybody again, 4-11 in their last 15 games dating back to last season. There's no defense of this coaching staff right now. There is no defense on the result that you are seeing from this team. This team right now has a coaching problem. They have a finishing problem. They have a problem in the fourth quarter. And this is supposed to be the guy. A defensive-minded coach should be able to thrive in these moments. And this team is doing anything but.
You would think you would win the moments, right? The winning moments with a guy in Jonathan Gannon who is not only a defensive-minded coach, but a guy who's coached for teams that went to Super Bowls. Can't put it together. You can't win those moments. And it's so hard to win in the NFL when you lose consistently in the fourth quarter, or when we've talked about this before, when you play the brand of football the Cardinals want to play. Run the ball, control the clock, and then we'll take our defense amongst anybody in the NFL. It's hard to win. You have to be nearly perfect, and this team makes too many mistakes to win like that.
You have to be buttoned up. And I can accept you not being buttoned up early on in the season. I expect to see it corrected. We're watching the same movie for 3 straight weeks. You got outscored 44-6 the last 3 weeks. You scored 6 points in 3 games in the fourth quarter. You're not closing games out. And oh, by the way, to reference the stat earlier in the segment, you've had leads in the fourth quarter of all 3 of those games. Against Tennessee, against Indy, against Green Bay. Imagine a world for a second where they finish those games out. You're talking about a 5-2 football team going into the bye. That's the difference. That is how small the margin for victory is for the Arizona Cardinals. That is how small the margin for you losing your job and you being a playoff team is. And unfortunately, at some point, you've got to make the correction. At some point, you've got to show me that things are going to be different. And for 5 weeks now, that hasn't been the case. You've been outscored and outplayed in the fourth quarter over and over and over again. It's like you get to the fourth quarter and you have a lead and you think you can just put it on cruise control. You don't have the killer instinct. The good teams, the great teams, the playoff teams in the NFL have that killer instinct. The Cardinals are missing it. They don't have it.
Watch the best teams in the world. They put people away when they can. Cardinals never do it. I mean, we're talking about situational football. They have been horrible at it. I mean, take it back to this start of this 5-game losing streak. You can't hit a landing zone against Seattle. You drop a pass against the Niners. You throw a ball out of the back of the end zone against the Titans. You want to keep going?
We want to talk about the DeMercado play?
Yeah.
The little things. The stuff that should be buttoned up under Jonathan Gannon in year 3. And John over on YouTube says, maybe the coaches don't have the players with a want-to mentality on the field. Guess who that's on then, John? That's on the GM, and that's on the coach. This isn't year 1. This isn't even year 2. I could even give you that pass in year 2. I could even say, you know what? You're getting in there. You buy a new house, right? You got to clean some of the stuff up, right? You got to change the wallpaper out. You got to move some of the furniture around. I can understand that in year 1 and year 2. This is year 3. This is your mess at this point. These are the players you've chosen. You've now had 3 separate off seasons to get your players in here, to get players that fit that want-to mentality that you're alluding to there, John. And I agree with you, but that falls on the coach and that also falls on the GM. Because if the players aren't the right players, then that's on the coach and the GM because they go hand in hand in making those decisions. And so that's why these next 10 games I'm reevaluating. I'm reevaluating whether or not Jonathan Gannon should be the head coach of this football team going into 2026. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. One more before we are out of here today. Big sports day. Doubleheader off Monday Night Football. We got Game 7 in the ALCS. Lots of sports to get to tonight. Before we get out of here, it's all the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. We call it the leftovers. We'll get to them next. It's the lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
James out west.
Mike Trout became the 59th player to hit his 400th home run. The home run record holder for the Angels. I was going to quiz you. Who do you think the number 2 is on the list for all-time home runs for the Anaheim Angels?
I would assume it's Shohei Ohtani.
Nope, Tim Salmon.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
299 for Tim Salmon. Mike Trout got 101 more than the next guy.
Naming a random MLB player who had a really good career.
Yeah, dude, I loved watching Tim Salmon, bro. I'm about to cut together some Tim Salmon highlights.
Every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
We watch these lawyers get on TV and say they're going to treat their clients like family, when we know they put secret mandatory quotas on their lawyers. That means your own lawyer pressures you into a premature, terrible result. Hi, I'm Mark Breyer.
And I'm Alexis Breyer. We're the husband and wife law team. We don't set settlement quotas. We measure success by achieving each client's best outcome and by each client's happiness.
Do your research after a serious injury. Call the husband and wife law team first.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we can be connected here and there.
Listos todos. Estas son las mañanitas.
Now we just need to harmonize. Switch today. Get 4 Samsung Galaxy S25 phones with Galaxy AI. Plus, get 4 lines for just $25 per line. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile. 1-800-T-Mobile. For well-qualified customers with auto-pay plus tax and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Minimum 4 lines on plan. Contact us if canceling lines. Plus $5 per line without auto-pay. Debit or bank account required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Hello, everybody. Eric Bryan, owner of Precision Air and Plumbing. When it comes to your comfort, results matter. That's why Precision has been voted the #1 ranked AC company in the Valley for over a decade, delivering the best installation in the state. And now's the perfect time to upgrade. Get $2,500 off a new AC unit, plus receive the Valley's only 10-year workmanship warranty. Protect your home, lower your stress, stay comfortable all year long. Make the Precision decision today. Call us at 602-FIX-MY-AC.
It's time for the pro to get everything for the entire job, all from one partner. To get access to over 3 million products, including many products you won't find in our stores. It's time to get delivery on your schedule or next day on over 50,000 products. And time to get dedicated support on the job site or in our stores. From ordering to planning, we've got you. One partner, any job, all in. Ask about all we can now do at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters, and we kept signing people to contracts, and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Well, we got to a lot here today on the show, so I don't know what's going to be left for us to unpack in the leftovers. That's the job of producer Evan to put all of that together. So what do we have on the docket today, my friend?
The one thing we didn't do yet was talk a little Monday Night Football. We got 2 games tonight. And to start, we got a 4 o'clock kickoff. The Bucs take on the Lions in a big matchup in the NFC.
Any points at stake tonight for anybody?
No points at stake tonight for anybody. I will tell you, I think I like the Bucs plus the points, 6.5.
6.5? Let me think about that a little bit more. Put me on the spot there. I wasn't ready for that.
Sorry.
It's quite all right.
But no points out there. You finished with 5 points this week.
Got my 3 and my 2-point play.
I finished with 4 points.
So I gained a point on you.
I got my 3 and my 1. So you got a point on me.
We don't even need to go over Addison's picks.
And I got 2 points, or I got a point on you last week.
So
you're still up 8 points.
Feel good. Go away for 2 weeks. Come back in the same spot I was in. Now, I believe I had a prediction that I was going to have a bigger lead than that.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
I did not. I did not grow The lead had a really bad week the week prior. This week was much better, hitting my 3 and my 2-point play, being 2-1 overall. We don't need to recap Addison's picks because he took the Dolphins, so that he was doomed from jump there. How was Team Listener while I was gone? How'd they do?
They were good.
And I don't mean how they do in terms of their picks, but how was morale?
I felt like Team Listener kind of went back and maybe went back to the drawing board. They lost both weeks.
Really? So they are struggling against the show in general.
They are struggling against the show in general, but they packed it in, and I think they're coming back for a big next week.
Well, I think with my return, they're going to really want to ruin it with a good week this week, so we'll see.
But in general, though, the show did take both weeks.
Love that. So, yeah, doubleheader tonight in Monday Night Football. The second game is
Texans at Seahawks.
I feel like I would take Seattle in this game. I don't know what the number is.
Too. It is odd, though. Like, the Texans are one of those teams. They started 0-3. If they win tonight, they're back to 3-3, and it feels like certainly in play in the AFC.
Yes, but man, they just have a far way to go in my mind for me to believe in them again. Like, they are so far off.
I don't even disagree with you. But if you win tonight, you're a team that's won 3 in a row and just got to win at Seattle.
I hear you. What have you done for me lately would be sky high. Fair enough. But it's just, this is not the team from 2 years ago. And listen, the AFC is wide open right now, so you can't rule anybody out, truthfully, other than like the Jets and the Titans. Everybody else is seemingly in play. Maybe the Browns are also out.
The Raiders are out.
But it is wide open. So, yeah, a win tonight goes a long way for you still playing for something as the season moves along.
So 2 good games tonight. Two good Monday night games. You can't say that all the time.
No, because sometimes there's only one Monday night game.
Yes.
You cannot say all the time that there's 2 great Monday night games.
And you can't say that there's a good Monday night game.
Sometimes there are some real stinkers out there.
Little manager search update.
Yeah, Albert Pujols out.
Albert Pujols out as the Angels. Guess who is talking with Albert Pujols? You see this?
The Padres.
The Padres are now, by the way, in the manager search, and they have brought in Albert Pujols maybe for some discussions.
The Giants are close to hiring a manager. They are hiring the head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers, or at least that's where things are.
What an interesting move.
Yeah. By interesting, do you mean Buster Posey trying to show everybody he's the smartest guy in the room?
Yes.
Because that's the feel that I have from this move.
Yes.
Not to say it won't work out. Everything I read about this coach, well-respected, highly regarded.
He seems to be really liked in the college rankings.
Very prepared as a manager. I think he will be the first coach ever to make the jump from college to pro with no stop in between as like a manager in the minor leagues or on the bench. Like,
wow.
He'll be the first player to make that jump from college manager to pro manager. And to me, it feels like Buster Posey just trying to be the smartest guy in the room. Just has that feel to it. It may work out. Maybe a great hire. I'll give credit where credit is due. But it does feel a little bit like...
Well, I think Posey looked like the smartest guy in the room in, June? They traded for Devers. It was like, wow, the new look Giants. And that didn't go
and then they sold to the deadline, and we're still in it late into the season.
Yeah, no. Things up until the end of the year couldn't have gone better for the look of Buster Posey.
And this will be his first full off season to try to remake this roster, and don't know what resources he'll have available to him to spend. He's got a lot of money tied up in Rafael Devers, so a lot of money tied up in Matt Chapman as well there in San Francisco. So we'll see what they
still feel like a team that can make a move, try and make a play at one of these big free agents. There's a lot of names out there available.
I think Posey's going to want to put his stamp on this team in a big way this offseason.
Could you imagine if they bring in Bregman too? That'd be great.
To me, the splash for them would be to steal Kyle Tucker away from the Dodgers, because it feels like the Dodgers are going to make a play for Kyle Tucker, according to all reports. That feels like the play if I was the Giants.
If they make a play for Kyle Tucker, let me ask you this question. And you have this lockout, what does that mean? Like, are you going to have to take players away from the Dodgers then under this salary cap, or are you going to have to put the salary cap to the Dodgers?
Yeah, I mean, these are all legitimate questions that you're asking. The lockout doesn't happen until 2027, so nobody, I think...
Like, are they going to sign Kyle Tucker to a 10-year deal and then be like, Well, we're going to add a salary cap, and
this is why the idea of a salary cap feels like it's so far away, because how do you legislate that? How do you legislate teams who committed to contracts under the previous CBA rules? And now you're completely upending the financial model of the sport. That's why people think that if that's the battle people want to pick, we're not getting baseball in 2027, because you have to work all of that out. Good luck getting everybody.
So there's a lot of things that go with that.
Good luck getting everybody to agree on what that model looks like. It's going to do it for us here. It's good to be back. Good to talk with all of you. Hope to do it again tomorrow. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Monday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.